Look, over the past couple weeks, we have seen a lot of insanity in the world, right? And we have talked about it pretty extensively on our show. The things happening in Minnesota, the fraud, the shooting the other day. It was a lot, right? And we've seen all these videos that have popped off on social media of people rushing to protest and all these different things. And I've noticed a theme with a lot of these videos, and it's been a constant conversation around one specific group of people on not just the internet, but in society. And I wanted to share a few examples with you before I pose a very important question to you. First, let's start with this lady right here who made her way over to the place where the other lady was shot the other day. And this interviewer was talking to this lady here, and she was very upset. And let's hear why she was upset.
So, I mean, I'm just walking around kind of just dayside because I was like, I don't know if it's the right thing to do. It feels kind of wrong being here in some way. I don't know why.
Why do you think, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, like, where that stems from. Like, I mean, part of it is being like a white woman that I'm privileged and I have a lot of privilege. So I feel like white tears are not always something that's helpful or necessary when black and brown people have been experiencing this for a long time. This isn't new for them, and so I don't know if that makes any sense in that way.
How did you decide that you should be here, or are you still figuring that out?
Well, I work like 2 miles from here, so driving by, I don't, it was like, I'm here. I'm 2 miles. I can stop.
Okay. Phoenix, I saw you shaking your head there, buddy.
It's all just so tiring and infuriating at the same time.
All right. So the lady there she shows up at this place. She doesn't know why, but she also doesn't want to cry because if she cries, the white tears don't help anything because black and brown people have seen this right? And she can't explain why she feels this way, right? She doesn't know. All right. So there's video one.
Well, that virtue signal has to come out first. Like she has to identify and say, okay, listen, the minority community has dealt with this forever, and this is my first time dealing with this, and so I don't know if I'm allowed to cry because her poor brain is just so twisted because it feels like it has to virtue signal. Then on top of that, then she doesn't feel like she's even allowed to feel sad because she doesn't want to be viewed as hurtful to that community. So it's like it feels like these people, whoever they are, feels like they're always being watched. And I would argue they are always being watched by their communities. So they've got to watch every single word they say. They're not even allowed to even have an opinion without it feeling judged. So I think they're always feeling like they're under the microscope.
Okay, so I guess without going into the other two videos, because I will show those to you, we have 3 women on our panel here, and I legitimately ask this. There is no sarcasm. This is not a derogatory question at all. Why do they feel this way? Like women on the panel. This is an open question to y'all. Please educate me because I don't understand how we've gotten to this point with certain white women.
They've been brainwashed. They've been brainwashed to think that we're insignificant and that we have to white knight to a group of people because we should feel bad. They have convinced themselves that of trauma they don't have or have never experienced. And so they're going to try their best to understand and live out the trauma of a group of people they have nothing to do with. And it doesn't make any sense. So they fall on this crutch of, let's continue this white knight thing. I think that she was swimming through all of the regurgitated statements that they're supposed to say, and that's why it took her so long to answer. And then she was like, oh, found it. It was like a slot machine. It was just spinning and spinning and spinning. It was like, go with white knight. And then she's like, I just feel bad because I'm a white woman. And like, yeah, you are. And I can't relate as well as, you know, the black and people of color and the marginalized people. You're right. You can't. So just don't say anything about it.
Meg, do you have anything to add to that?
No.
I'm sorry. Vera, do you have anything to add to that?
Well,
Are you sure that's the statement you want to go with?
Is that
Yeah, I was
everything
like,
you wanted
wait,
to-
was that really bad?
Sorry. Vera, what about you? We'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
I mean, I think that we're seeing kind of this like uprising of like white women doing this because of CRT. You know, when ideas from CRT are taught in school, you know, white kids are encouraged to think of themselves as privileged or part of the problem, and it leads to virtue signaling. And then, of course, that carries on into the workforce where we have these companies that force people to act in a certain way and push a certain mentality. And then, of course, it doesn't actually lead to any sort of like genuine conversation. It's just people doing things and saying things so they don't get fired, they don't get, I don't know, kicked out of college, and their social reputation isn't ruined.
Blabs, any thoughts on why this lady would feel this way, or have these other two women and
I agree
Phoenix
with
anything?
what Vara and Meg have said, but I also say that women seem to be more willing to talk to other women who are being interviewed too. So I feel like there's gonna be more clips of these women speaking around than, let's say, some other guys, because we've also seen lots of guys who say the exact same thing on the internet. We've also seen lots of men in position of power do the absolute unfathomable things, but we don't really talk about that. So personally, I don't think that we should just be like, why are white women like this? I think it doesn't help our cause whatsoever to improve society. I think we just need to actually start educating people in whole, like overall, just be like, yeah, that's not how you should be thinking. Sure, you want to question stuff, but a CRT is not the way to go about it. So yeah,
I do think that there are liberal white women that are more prevalent and more vocal on, say, TikTok. They just feel the need to get on TikTok and add to the brain rot of the virtue signaling that they feel necessary to do. But you're right. I mean, it is both men and women.
Yeah, I add something as a woman myself. Do you mind?
Yes, by all means, Phoenix. She, her.
So one. Thank you very much. So one thing I think you'll find, I actually do agree with Blabs. I do believe that there's plenty of liberal men that as a guy you're just like, oh, you've got to be fucking, dude, please, you're castrating yourself right now. But as far as the women are concerned, I think women typically are more agreeable. Men typically are more disagreeable. And I wouldn't be surprised if these women in particular probably don't have kids. Women typically are the more nurturing of the sexes, and that's a very good thing. That's a beautiful balance between men and women. And when you want to nurture but have nothing to nurture, it seems like these people love to nurture minorities as their little pets. And so which I find extremely insulting. And I think minorities should also find that insulting too, because they're really talking down to them when you really think about it. So I kind of think that a lot of, in this particular case, we're talking about women, it's that they have no cause to nurture. They have nothing to raise. They have nothing to help out on. And I think they see social causes as their child. It's something to get invested in. Where I think the men, who I would say are equally as annoying, they're just hoping to get in the pants of said woman. So they're just going to be saying this like crazy so that they can get a girl that goes like, yeah, he really gets me. He sees my truth. That's kind of how I see all of this. They're all horrible. All of them are horrible.
Okay, so I would say generally you're right, but in this situation, I'm actually going to show you two other examples of moms who, like, we saw this with the shooting the other day, where this lady had a 6-year-old, right? And that's the thing. Oh, she was a mom. She was a mom. She was a mom. She left her kids. Well, yeah. So she chose to go there, putting herself in danger. She chose to protect these people she's never met, right? That are, that over her blood, right? Over her son, which is another example. Here's a great example of this. This lady interferes with federal investigation, walking into an active police scene with a 6-year-old in her vehicle here. So take a look at this interaction here.
Hey, back up. You I'm far enough away. I'm not influencing
Do you
anything.
live on this street?
I
ma'am?
don't. No.
Okay, I need you to get in your.
No, I won't.
Ma'am, I need you to leave.
It's my right to be here.
You're-
I will not.
One of our cars as well. You were too close right now. You were
it's okay.
interfering.
I'm right here.
Federal
You're gonna
investigation.
get out of my face.
You need
I'm
to
a
back
public
up over
citizen.
here.
No, I won't. Tell me
You need
why
to
I'm
back up
far
this
enough
way.
away from your
You need to
investigation.
back up this way.
Step beyond our cars.
Ma'am,
Don't touch me,
ma'am,
please.
we have
Beyond
somebody
our
Don't.
cars.
Where's your cars?
right here.
Where's
You
your
need to go
cars?
all the way
Oh,
this
that's
way.
great.
Ma'am, you
going.
need to go all the way
That's
this
great.
way.
Sure. Beyond your cars, 20 feet, right?
See that white car?
I have a 6-year-old right here. I have a 6-year-old right here in my
The child
car.
in the car?
I love it.
Look at the response here to this lady here. She goes, I have a 6-year-old in my car. Listen to the female police officer here.
A 6-year-old right here in my
The child
car.
in the car?
Oh,
Yeah, I
child
sure
endangerment.
did. Yes,
Yeah.
child endangerment.
Get your child off of the scene. This is an active police scene.
It's an
This is
active
all on
police
camera
scene.
right now too. Right here.
Yes, I'm wonderful. I'm very glad
Get
for
your
it.
child out of here. You
I
are
can
an
be right
active
here.
police scene.
I'm happy right here.
Ma'am, listen to me. You have the right to videotape. Okay?
I do. Thank you,
Hang on,
sir.
listen to me right now.
I'm going to listen.
But we have someone that's being detained right here. Okay.
Mhm.
You have a.
Tell me where you need me to go
Hang on,
exactly.
I need you to stay. Do me a favor.
Yeah,
In the
I
front
will.
seat with no car seat. Okay. Do me a favor. You can videotape all you like, but
Sure.
you have to stay. You cannot come past that driveway.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'll be right back. Thank
Okay?
you.
Thank you. Stay at your car though. Okay.
Thank
You're
you.
more than welcome to videotape.
Thank you, sir.
But do me a favor. By state law, we're policemen too. That child is supposed to be in a booster seat. He's not of age.
Oh.
So make sure you put him in a booster
Great.
seat, because I'd hate to give you a ticket.
You can give me a ticket. I'd love it.
Oh my! Oh, big bad girl! You really got him at the end there.
So to answer your, so Phoenix, you were saying, look, some of these women don't have children. Well, this woman does have a child. And
Right.
she's, hey, give me a ticket. I don't care. And I feel in this situation, look, if you look at those police officers, there was a woman, there was men, I think there was a POC as they phrase it in there, a officer, right?
Yeah, they had it. They were ready. They had them all. They had the woman, the black guy. It was perfect.
Right. They gave her every chance.
My favorite part was the cop coming and shoving
Yeah.
the thing in their face that they like to do is the phone. Like
Right.
I watch body cam videos on the regular, and it is astonishing to me. There was some shift in this, police are all bad movement and defund the police movement. There was a shift where these people do not listen to
Yes.
the law. They do not listen to the authority that enforces the law, which is those were federal agents, which is a big step up from your local law enforcement. And if they're telling you to get back, you comply, because what happened to the other lady could possibly happen to you right in front of your freaking kid, lady.
Right.
Just comply.
I just don't understand this empowerment that these people have, that they feel like they need to stick there. Because why is she there? Because she wants to she wants to observe, and she wants to capture the next incident, right? Because
It was
she's
a viral
protecting
TikTok moment.
She's
Yeah.
protecting the potential criminal, right? And that's that motherly instinct here. That's that empathy, that toxic empathy that is felt in a situation like this. Vera, do you have any thoughts on that video in particular?
No, I think these people are ridiculous, plain and simple.
Well, I have one more example for you. And this is kind of talking about allowing people the opportunity to more or less hang themselves. This is what you see here. This woman right here begins to shake and hyperventilate. Here we go. Let's just see how she reacts, because she's extremely tough looking from a distance until, well, let's find out.
That Mustang's coming on you pretty fast. She just ran a red light.
We were up with you.
Yeah, that's a fast little car. She's right behind you now. All right, just slow down. Let me do this.
Yeah, come down here. Come down here.
Hold on.
Fine road.
Okay. Turn on the lights. 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 Hey, wait.
Oh, because that's smart.
Turn on the lights. You're impeding with the federal investigation. We have you on camera. We actually have news reporters with us in the vehicle. Your case will be referred over to Homeland Security investigation for.
Okay, so now she's finding out.
Bafo.
We're in
Yep.
that stage.
We are in that stage. Okay. Now it says on screen here, but watch over the next 60 seconds how quickly these people go from tigers to kittens.
Prosecution. You will be arrested. This is your last and final warning. Hold on a second, guys. Give me your license plate. I will once again tell you.
A pussy.
Put your vehicle in park and shut it off, please. I understand, but you are impeding. Look where you're at. You are almost causing an accident. You are surrounded by federal ladies. Okay, I am the Deputy Field Office Director here, ma'am.
We're here at the Monday.
Stand by. We're running the name. We're going to refer this case over for enforcement action.
Please.
Is that it?
Please.
Should have thought about that.
Yeah.
Bafo, lady.
Like, if you really care about being a mom and your first priority is your family, maybe don't impede law enforcement and actually fucking comply and actually focus on your family first.
Yeah.
Well, she was
Like
just
this,
a mom
don't
here
stick
too.
don't stick your nose in business that you don't have to be a part of.
Yeah.
She's just a mom. Just a mom, right? And they end up, they more or less scare, right? And they let her go and say, like, look, go the fuck home. And they gave her every chance, right? Despite her getting in the way, trying to impede them, they gave her every chance. That's something that you will not see on the news. You won't see this on the news. Hey, look at all the things that the federal law enforcement allowed, how many opportunities they have. And I saw this TikTok of this, it was a black girl, and she's like, I could not be an ICE agent because the idea of your face getting shown, you getting doxxed, everyone telling you to go kill yourself. She's like, I wouldn't let anybody, I couldn't do it because I think her words were, I would more or less drop everybody, if you get my drift, right?
That's why I could never be a cop.
Right. So I think there's like, right.
I was just like, get on the ground.
Okay, so I was like, why is this happening? What has happened here? And some of like the statistics around this. I asked Rock to provide me with some stats around this. Like, why the question was, I've noticed a lot of white liberal women having serious mental health issues. Why is that? And they said a 2020 Pew, and by the way, this is 6 years ago now, so I guarantee this has only gotten worse. It says a 2020 Pew Research study found that 56% of white liberal women from the ages of 18 to 29 reported to have been diagnosed with a mental health condition, compared to about 28% of moderates and 27% of conservatives in the same group. So over double there, 56 out of 100. In more recent data from 2024 showed that only 12% of liberal women aged 18 to 40 report being, quote, completely satisfied with life versus 37% of conservative women in that range. Liberal women were also 2 to 3 times more likely to say they were, quote, not satisfied, and over 3 times more likely to report frequent loneliness. Now, some potential reasons for this. It also provided me with this. It talks about engagement with social and global issues, right? Social media and digital influences, right? Spending a lot of time on social media, the ideological outbreak and coping styles, reporting and diagnosis bias, and like demographic overlaps. There's a noticeable rise in LGBT identification amongst young liberals, especially women, and LGBT youth facing higher rates of mental health challenges due to stigma, discrimination, and identity-related stress. Okay, that's fine. So, like I said, this world is foreign to me. I don't understand it. I'm trying to learn how and why, right? And the one thing that I've really kind of taken away from the last couple of weeks and seeing really the last few days in particular, we've seen the fraud, we've seen the shooting, and we've seen situations where two sides can see the exact same video and see totally different things. And I'm just trying to wrap my head around the other side of this in complete fairness. I want to try to understand how they got there.
I don't think you can.
Well, that's just it. I mean,
I feel like they're gaslighting themselves in convincing themselves to see something different, because the truth, which is what they're watching, which is what everyone else is watching, does not align with their messaging, with their virtue signaling. And so body cams, which they all begged for back when George Floyd happened, they're like, where are all the body cam videos? Oh, boom. Just about almost probably 80% of police departments nowadays have body cam videos, and they've got the cameras on their chest ready to rock and roll. But now you hate it because it has exposed the whole story. So you can get on TikTok and you can clip it down to where it matches. You can gaslight everyone and it matches your message and your statement. But when the whole thing comes out, you're shit out of luck. So I don't think there's any understanding it, because they have gaslit themselves to convince themselves they are not seeing what they're seeing, because it goes against everything they stand for.
Blabs, Vara, any thoughts?
It's like I said, the mixture of sort of the education system and social media being combined into like this shit storm does not help, because they're convinced that there is a problem that they can fix by virtue signaling. Mm-hmm. And then they go on social media, or they put themselves into these situations so that they can record themselves trying to virtue signal and fix the situation. And then, well, we see, as in some of these videos, they reach the fuck around, find out stage.
I think it's fair to say too, real quick, that I think what you'll find is that most liberals, I'm going to keep saying it, liberals in general, they're going to be going to, more of them, I would imagine, are going more to school. I wouldn't be surprised if, more of the in-betweens and the conservatives are doing more, on the boots kind of jobs, electrical, plumbing, all that other kind of stuff. So I think the libs are going to their colleges. Those colleges are always promoting social justice. They're promoting, I'm also sure they're promoting mental health. So they're probably more likely to be taking drugs. Lord knows what kind of mental drugs, official doctor drugs their brains are on. And Lord knows what that is also doing to you. I'm sure there's plenty of data that could suggest that that's scrambling a lot of people's brains. So I think they're probably more affluent, which means that they're more likely to have a lot more spare time on their hands. They're not doing jobs that, are really where you're really doing a lot of work. So it just seems to be like a certain type of person, rich, liberal, mental health. And I think you'll see that time and time again, where when you've got shit to do, a family to raise, places to be, things to do, you're less likely to do that. And those people are also less likely to be on social media, which is another instigator to be famous and to feed your own narcissism. And I think that that's part of the ingredients of this.
They're narcissizing themselves.
Well, yeah, but that's how these people are. I mean, they're fucking communists, so no shocker there.
Yeah.
Blabs, I know you feel, I'm not going to say strongly, but I think you think a little different. I don't know. Well, I'd love to hear your thoughts to close this out.
Oh, I actually had something very similar to Phoenix. It's basically go eat healthy and take your kids out of college. That's it. This will be solved. If you stop putting a bunch of shit in your body and you stop going to college and getting all those little cults into your head. That's all.
Well, the thing about that is I feel like we have this generation, this gap over the last 10 years of these kids who have been thrown into this camp, right? And I say camp, I mean like colleges or whatever, right? And they are entering the workforce. And I don't know if this is going to get better anytime soon. Because everybody, it's just, like I said, you can look at two videos. Everyone sees the exact same thing while seeing it entirely different. And I don't know if that's going to change anytime soon.
And how often and another thing too is I think with more liberal people, I think they're more encouraged not to get married, not to have families, things like that. And I think a lot of this goes against the nature of people in general. I'm not saying anyone has to get married or anything. That's not what I'm suggesting. But I don't think it's even an option to them. I think there's almost guilt if a woman were to say to herself, you know what? I do want a family. You know what? Okay, I'm 23, but you know what? I want that. And I think there's a lot more social guilt for them to not have that. And it's going against their very nature. So they wind up taking a job they never wanted to do, really, when maybe they wanted to be a stay-at-home mom or whatever. Again, I'm not suggesting you need to be. But I think they're always being told that you're not allowed to follow your own instincts. You have to follow the instincts of the hive mind or what the group think says. And I think that just distorts people's brains.
Yeah, I agree. I think that their loneliness is caused by them trying to feed the beast. They're trying too hard to feed the beast, and to the detriment of themselves.
Looking from the outside in, we saw this from Target. Actually, they have this new sweater. Dump them.
There you go.
Like,
now we just need a man's sweater in the male section that says dump her, and we would see the meltdowns ensue.
No, I say go get some. That's what it should say. That'll create a much bigger meltdown.
If that girl's the one on the ad, the men's one should say dumpst her.
Noise. Well, they have this as well. This
that
is
joke.
This is AI generated here. Reject her if she's not a virgin. Like, I don't think they're going to be. They're not going to be selling that shirt anytime soon. But all right. Your dad said you should watch this next video, and you don't want to disappoint Dad, do you?